Okay, so since Ed Boy's not here,
there are many doors.
Yes, Rayla, I guess, is kind of moody right now and is choosing to stay in the dorms for a while. I don't know.
Rayla got really bad diarrhea all of a sudden, and it's just like, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what I ate.
Need a break. So I guess we will start with try and paint you a picture with my words.
Okay.
So right now, Caelian, you have just finished a long and kind of confusing conversation with the Raven Queen. You met Szorna, the Drow Rogue, who's going to be helping you on your mission, who's been here in this... I don't think I described the kennel very well before, so it's more than just like a building. It's an entire like pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you are just in this office building where the Raven Queen operates out of. But it's an entire like world, but it's very empty because it's just like the sort of few people you've seen around, and then Szorna, who you've met.
Mm-hmm.
You've gotten items from the armory from Rayreville, who's gruff and quiet and old and grumpy that you're taking his stuff. And just as you two are about to set out, you think, well, this is kind of a small party. You hear a scream coming from the dorms. What do you do?
Caelian doesn't even notice.
All right.
Well, and then you're off.
His ears twitch. Okay.
Bye, guys.
The Raven Queen steps out of her little office and she kind of sighs and she's like, "Oh, I didn't think he'd be up this soon. There might be someone else you need to meet." And she leads you back to these dorms, which it strikes you as kind of odd because there are a lot of rooms for people, but there are not that many people here. And she leads you to one and opens up the door, and inside is a small boy.
Who's this guy? Who's that? Szorna, do you know?
Hello.
She's like, I've never met him before. And she kind of looks to the Raven Queen. And the Raven Queen looks at the small boy. What does the small boy do?
Looks back, stares into the abyss.
Everyone...
By the way, he's completely calm. Completely calm-based.
Well, there's a small, very holy-looking wood elf boy in front of you, and the Raven Queen says, "This is Mara, I believe that's your name. Yes."
Mara Avriana.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasant day.
Caelian scratching his ears, like, fuck.
Mara's looking at Caelian. Just looking.
The Raven Queen says, "No, I'm sure, Mara, that you have some questions, and I'd be happy to explain. You have been killed? I'm not sure how much you remember of that."
I have a question.
Okay.
Is this the second layer?
Um,
Please be honest.
I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar with.
All right. Well, go on.
You ordinarily.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's all right. You sweet child. Normally, you would have passed on into the afterlife, but because of how you died, the person that killed you, you have been killed before your time. And I'm sorry to say it, but you're trapped here until we can rectify this situation.
Is this purgatory?
Uh, we try not to use the P word here, but in a manner of speaking, yes. You.
Oh.
Caelian walks closer to Mara and is like squinting at him. And then he looks
Hello?
back at the Raven Queen and at Szorna, like not even really like paying attention to what Mara is doing, but just kind of like looking at him like an object on the floor that he's not sure why we're here looking at it. And he's like, I thought we were going somewhere. Why are we meeting this kid?
Well,
going somewhere? I thought you said we were trapped.
Well,
nope. We're we're totally trapped. Yep. Totally trapped.
Are we?
There's no way out. Oh no.
Caelian, I appreciate your help, but please let me handle this.
Okay.
Mara, you have been killed before your time and thus removed from the flow of life as it should be. I do not have control over where your, for lack of a better word, soul goes, or even when you die. I only have control over where you appear because I know this is a lot to understand, especially for one so young, but when you die now, you don't stay dead. You will continue to come back.
Pretty shocking, huh?
He doesn't really say anything, he's just listening.
Okay.
Just taking it in. He doesn't have anything to add at this time.
Excuse me, little man, how old are you?
I'm 12 years old. And how old are you?
What the I'm 230. Jeez,
oh!
Please. What kind of 12-year-old dies looking like that?
This is my vestment, sir. I didn't believe I caught your name.
You can call me Caelian, I guess. I don't know how much we're going to be interacting.
I see.
Guess we share a dorm building now.
Oh, do we?
I don't know where I live.
That's fun, but I believe we were just about to leave.
Yes. Did I introduce myself? I can't remember. I am the Raven Queen, but you may know me better as Death. It is my job to ferry souls from the material plane to the ethereal plane. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. You
seem a bit confused on what it is you do.
She's had a long day. She's had to deal with my shit.
Where ghosts go.
Excuse me. Language.
Okay. Whatever the fuck you want.
He makes a face.
Caelian makes a face back.
You're a tough one, aren't you?
I'm old as shit. Grandpa, are you a wood elf too?
Are you a wood elf?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Are you sure?
Yeah, do I look funny to you or something? Just something on
Well, no. I don't mean to offend. I'm sorry. I'm very this is all quite shocking, as I'm sure you understand. Wow. Did you say that I can't die earlier?
You can die. You just don't stay dead. You'll return to this form of life over and over.
But I don't understand. So I'm not dead right now.
No.
I'm alive.
Yes.
Okay.
You are alive again. There is an organization.
What happens? I'm sorry again for interrupting. I don't mean to speak out of turn. What happens to the me that was? I'm afraid I don't know how to word. What happens to the body?
Yeah, well, it remains.
Damn tiger shit right now?
Yes, so eloquently put. Yes, you... Caelian, you're tiger shit.
Did you get eaten by a tiger?
Yeah, sorta. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you one of the times I come back from an adventure. I mean, from sitting out in the courtyard being bored and not going anywhere special. Oh no.
I don't know if you realize this, but you're not very good at lying, sir.
Who said I'm lying?
I do.
Alright, whatever.
I don't mean to antagonize, but I'm pretty sure you're fibbing.
Well, that's up to you, little man.
Well, I'll just follow you and go wherever you go.
You better listen to what she's got to say first, because this is a...
Of course. I'm sorry.
For a small child, I think.
I think you'll find I'm more capable than you might expect at first.
Caelian is like, say yes to this request.
What is your family name again, Caelian?
Killaplith.
Killplith. Never heard of it.
All right, then.
At the news that the bodies remain behind after death, Szorna looks a little surprised from the doorway where she's just kind of been standing and not paying full attention. Like this is sort of news to her, but then she doesn't say anything.
Because this is a recap for her, right? Like a lot of it.
Yeah. But the Raven Queen says, you were killed by someone who works for an organization, a cult, and they are trying to raise a god that's been erased from all memory, or a god that should have been erased from all memory.
What fools!
Caelian's eyebrows are so high, he doesn't have them anymore.
Wait! They do all this in service to a false god?
If that's your feeling on the matter, as a goddess myself, I don't know how I feel about you using the phrase false god, but again, that's your prerogative.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I spoke out of turn again. Please excuse me.
It's quite all right, Mara. This cult is trying to raise a god of chaos and genocide, and normally I don't meddle in affairs of the material plane, but he has followers. There are 5 of them, the agents of chaos, who are anointed by this god's power as he's growing more of a following. He becomes more powerful. And they have the ability to kill before their victim's time. They are upsetting the balance of life and death, and I cannot allow it. So, if you would like, and I know this is asking a lot, but I think that you're very capable and have the ability that you could be a great help.
Mara smiles. He's like,
you could be of great use to Caelian and Szorna as they seek out these agents of chaos and end them.
Mara looks at Caelian and Szorna. Well, if they'll have me, then I would certainly...
Caelian kind of looks like he's trying not to laugh. He goes,
Is something funny?
Little dude, listen. This is a lot to take on. What are your skill sets exactly?
I'm the same level as you.
What?
Also, my wisdom and charisma is higher.
No.
Okay, no, not canon. What Mara actually says is, I think you'll come to find my skills will be very useful to you. I have had extensive training as a result of my background. Training, I'm sure that my background story, my traumatic past, training that I'm sure you'll find will be of some use to you.
Szorna looks a little skeptical, but
look at it this way. I turn to the Raven Queen. We can always return here, can't we?
Yes. If
okay.
the fight becomes too much for you, you may return here, and I can't allow you to be free. You're too much of a threat with your abilities. But I can allow you to stay here and live comfortably until the issue is resolved.
I see. So I turn back to Caelian and Szorna and go, what do you say to a trial run? Take me on one adventure, and if you find that I am a bane and not a boon, then you can leave me behind here forever and never think on me again.
Caelian seems okay with that, but he's got his arms crossed and he cocks his head and he's like, show me a little something that you can do then. Doesn't have to be much, just I need to know that you're capable in some way.
That's very fair of you, Caelian. Let me take a look at my fucking spell slots. Oh shit! All right. I can do a cantrip. I want to do something I want to do something interesting. Damn, you put me on the spot now, Caelian.
Get used to that.
I'm gonna get used to it. Okay. I think I cast, do I want to waste a spell slot on this shit?
Is thaumaturgy not a cantrip?
No, it is a cantrip. Of course I can do thaumaturgy. I was thinking of doing, hold person and freezing Caelian in place and walking up to him.
It's whatever you want to do.
But if I succeed on, a saving throw, that's going to look real bad.
That's going to look out. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But wouldn't they be kind of good, though?
I mean, do what you want. I'm just saying Caelian will make fun of you if it fails.
If that's what you're drawn to, you can have your spell slots back when we actually, go out on the mission.
Okay, no. Sorry, you guys.
It's okay.
What's Caelian's wisdom like again?
I can't. I'm not telling you.
I can just check it.
No.
It's I have your sheet right
come on, dude.
Your wisdom is 0, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
I cast command.
Okay,
level
what do
1.
I have to save? What do I throw?
Okay. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command.
Is that a d20?
Yeah. So, is this, what's the DC? Is it 13?
Yeah, what do I have to beat?
Oh, shit. How do I find that?
Well, your spell save DC is 13, because that's your...
Okay, so does he just have to beat me?
I think he has to...
Yeah, my spell save DC is 13. That's what it says on my thing here.
That's what he has to beat.
All right. That's a 2, my man.
Okay, I say grovel. So, grovel,
Right.
the target falls prone, and ends
Okay,
its turn.
Caelian just drops and puts his head down, and he says out loud, "What the fuck am I doing?" But he's groveling.
Szorna looks
And
a
Mars,
little impressed.
is that sufficient? And he's smiling.
Caelian's like, "Yeah, can you release this, please? This is very uncomfortable."
It ends after 6 seconds, automatically.
Okay. Caelian
Because
gets
the last
up
one's turn.
and is like, he shakes a little bit, like he's shaking out of fear, but just like he shakes it off, like
a cat that just fucked up.
or like you know how like a bird will do that? They'll like ruffle their feathers up after something.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, all right, you can come along, but to be fair, my wisdom does not exceed me very far.
My wisdom's a 3, so I think we'll get along just fine.
Oh man.
Szorna says, just don't get in my way. But she's fine with you coming along. You have joined the party. Welcome, small boy. Small boy has joined party.
You open a chest, gain, small boy.
Caelian is like keeping his distance from Mara.
Okay, so it's at this point that you would go to the armory and like roll your gachapon, but we've already done that. Do you want to roleplay him getting his items, or?
We can just real quick roleplay the dog, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've been kind of filled in on the situation. The Raven Queen retires to her office for now, and Szorna leads you to a very... He's not elderly, but he is an old elf, and he's...
Oh shit, yes, I get to meet Ray. I'm sorry.
Tall and very tall. Big for an elf. Strong, buff, large man. The
Can
legend.
I say something?
Go ahead.
When we go to Ravel's, I bet he looks over at Szorna and Caelian Ray's like, "Oh, you two again. Why are you here again?"
Yeah.
And then somebody has to gesture down.
Yeah, okay. So...
Caelian kind of like... He just goes...
Okay. Tall elf, he has... Is it black hair that goes to silver or silver?
It's black hair that goes to silver.
Black hair that goes to silver, it's long.
Ombre.
He's kind of worn. Kind of scarred, grizzled.
Blue skin.
Kind of fucking tired of this shit.
Yeah, he's tired and grumpy and a man of few words now. He stands with his arms crossed in front of his armory. And as Szorna and Caelian approach, he says, "What now?"
We got another little party member that we'd like to suit up, I guess. He doesn't seem very combat ready at the moment.
He looks way down and just kind of frowns for a minute. It's
Mara looks up with a smile. Friendly little hello.
and after a minute of just staring at this smiling child, he sighs and goes into the back and brings you an earring, which is strangely touching.
Mara's eyes go wide and they're sparkling. He loves it.
Oh. Ravenville seems like a little like...
His ears like twitch, you know?
Yeah, Ravenville is a little like... He doesn't quite know how to handle the beaming face of the small child. So,
Can I...
Yeah?
When Ravenville, hands the earring to him,
Mm-hmm.
Mara shakes his hand, like, enthusiastically. Thank you.
Ravenville, like, slowly straightens up, and he's kind of like... What? He's like a little less gruff, but it's just because he's like mainly confused. As he hands the earring over to you, it transforms from this sort of just like plain gold earring and takes on the shape of your holy symbol.
Mm-hmm. Which is the cross.
Right.
Yeah. Mara gasps like, wait, you know what? Can I? Does it have to go on his ear?
No.
Can I pin it to his coat?
Yes.
He pins it to his cloak with all his other crosses. He adds it to his collection.
Yeah.
And he says, "Thank you. I'll add this to my collection. Thank you so much. How did you know I love these?"
And it's like looking hands over to Mara, covered head to toe in sparkling gold crosses.
Ravel's just like,
"How did you know?"
He's like, "It wasn't like that before."
it's a magic item.
Mara's not even listening.
Caelian's like, "So what does it even do, though? Like, you gave him something to put on his clothes? What is it?"
It's just a really hip piece of jewelry. No, I'm joshing you. That's not. I'm in a good mood today.
You're very funny. Mara's just kind of in love with her. You're very funny.
He's like blushing a little. And he says, it grants you immunity against poison. So stay safe. And then
thank you. I will. You too.
He hesitates for a minute. But this time he sort of less begrudgingly goes into the back and brings back a small figurine, a black. It's about the size of Mara's hand, so small. A little dog statuette, and hands it over. I think no, never mind. Can't do that. He says, now this is very special. You can summon a mastiff who can speak and communicate with you as a companion. It's very taxing magic, but you can do it occasionally, and you have a little dog friend to protect you. I think you might like.
This makes it seem like, I know I rolled a random gachapon, but this makes it seem like Ray Ravel specifically picked this out, like, oh, all right, this kid would like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, looked at Mara, decided he needed protection, and gave him a puppy.
Yeah. I think Ray Ravel. I've decided that Mara's the only one that Ray Ravel likes. To sort of balance the fact that nobody else is. Well, they do like him, but they're kind of like annoyed by the small boy. But
anyway. Oh my! I'm literally crying.
Oh.
Mara, okay, he takes the dog from Ray Ravel gently, like it's the most precious thing he's ever held.
Oh.
He takes in his little hands, and he looks up at Ray Ravel with the most open look of gratitude. And he says, Your name was, I think, Ray Ravel, right?
Yes, I'm Ray Ravel.
If all goes well, and he glances at Caelian and Szorna, if all goes well, I'm afraid I might not return here to this place. But if I do, Ray Ravel, if I ever do, I hope I see you again.
Caelian kind of starts laughing a little bit. He's like, you know that we're not going to go out and kill a bunch of people and never come back, right? Like, this is where we sleep.
Well, I should hope we don't kill anyone.
Caelian's like,
that's not a very funny joke, Caelian.
Says, our job is literally to kill 5 people at least.
But they're really evil, if that makes it easier, little small holy boy that just made me grovel 10 minutes ago.
Well, if I could make you do that, Caelian, who knows what else I could do?
Caelian shrugs.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, won't we?
Caelian shrugs.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can do besides that?
Can's like, I think you'll see later how fucking awesome I am, but sure.
Indeed.
And with that, you are geared up and ready to go.
Puppy!
Ravel
As they leave, Marl waves enthusiastically to Ravel, like, bye, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
he's really excited.
Still stands there gruffly, but his eyes follow Mara. So Szorna leads you back to the Raven Queen's office, and she says, "Hey, boss, we're ready to go." So the Raven Queen gets up from her desk. I don't think I described the Raven Queen this time. She's a little old lady, is how she appears, and she's wearing a cardigan with a pin on her left shoulder. That's a raven's head in profile facing the left.
Did you say she's like an old lady?
Yeah, she
okay.
appears as like an elderly woman. She gets up and she leads you all to another room. It's a large room that's empty, except for on the floor there's a circle with some sort of arcane symbols in it. And she says, this is how you will transport from here to the material plane. You are headed to face the first agent of chaos. I don't know much about this one. It's been sort of mysterious. I just know the location, but you'll be meeting with a contact that I have there who's been keeping an eye on the situation for me. His name is Tanis. He'll meet you outside the town. But if you'll step into the circle, I will transport you there.
Raven Queen.
Yes.
Your Highness.
Yes.
Before we go, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Now, as was made clear to me a moment ago, we do have to kill these 5 agents of chaos, as you call them.
You do.
In order to restore balance.
Yes.
Is that absolutely the only way? What if they renounce their faith?
I'm afraid that just the nature of these agents is upsetting the balance, just their existence. By taking on the Forgotten God's blessing, they have become abominations. I'm afraid that they must be eliminated, but these agents are monstrous for the most part. And
yeah, one ate me, like just beat me the hell up and then swallowed me, and I'm in his guts now somewhere. Like, that's the kind of evil we're talking. And after I did him a favor too, he ate me.
Well, Caelian, there are 2 sides to every story.
He ate
That's what
me. He chewed me up and swallowed me down his throat. I'm sounding like Dale Gribble right now.
The Raven Queen kind of looks a little like trepidatious. That's an SAT word.
Do you mean like a beard? Like nervous?
A little like hesitant. And she looks at Mara and she says, "Mara, how much about your own death do you recall?"
Well, as it would happen, all of it.
Okay, then you know that these agents must be stopped at all costs.
Well, yes, but anger begets anger, and blood begets blood. And
Caelian is looking like that white guy blinking, like.
And if we continue this snake eating its own tail of violence and blood and horror, it's never going to end. It has to end somewhere. It has to end with us, with me, or else it never will. There's Your Highness, I respect you, and I'm very sorry for perhaps coming across a little bit abrasive earlier. I was shaken as you, if you know what, you understand. But I think there must be another way. Maybe one that even you're not aware of.
Perhaps there is, Mara. Maybe that's for you to find on your adventures. You do not have to participate in the killing if that is your choice, but these agents were never meant to exist, and they do. This god is dangerous. If he has been erased from our memory, from my memory even, then I know that. I can't allow this imbalance to continue. It could upset the balance of magic itself, of life itself. But I respect your I respect your ability to hold tight to your faith. If that's what you must do to continue, then continue.
Thank you, Your Highness. And I, of course, won't allow it to continue either. On that, we are united.
Okay. With that, she steps back out of the circle. Are you guys standing in the circle?
Yep.
The circle?
Caelian's breakdancing. He's not.
Alright. You're standing in the circle.
Caelian's pressing Mara.
This alchemical symbol on the floor. And she says, all right, good luck, and may you return successful. And she claps her hands, and in a flash of light, you are suddenly somewhere else. And that somewhere else is a mining town. It's dirty and rustic. And I have a description written that is better than that. So,
other than it's dirty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna open a bag of chips.
Oh, go ahead.
Wow, I know how Griffin felt now.
Okay. On the outskirts of the world's largest city, there's a small mining community called Black Ridge. You see the sign outside the town. In a few more years, it will probably be overtaken and absorbed into the main city, but for now, it still stands on its own. The people here... Wow, my spelling is bad. Sorry. The people here are tired but hardworking. With one exception, all the buildings are single-story and worn, but well-loved. This is not a town of wealthy merchants. The people are blue-collar workers doing their best to provide for their families. The town is split cleanly in half by a very wide dirt road. On the east side of town, there's a tavern called the Leaky Bucket, some small shops, and the town jail.
Leaky Bucket?
Yeah. It seems fairly unused. On the west side of town, there's an infirmary, a large house, which is the tallest and most expensive building in the town. And a ways back off the main stretch, there are signs for an entrance to a mine. And in the center of the town, you immediately notice this giant rift in the ground. There's been mining gear set up around it, and sort of like a rudimentary elevator. And even as far away as you are, you're sort of standing just outside where the buildings of this town start. You can feel a sort of ickiness emanating from this crack in the ground. And in front of you, there's a small halfling man who looks a little surprised when you show up, and kind of nervous, honestly. And he says, let me think of a voice. He says, hi, my name's Tanis. The Raven Queen told me to be expecting you. I'm here to show you around. Y'all have any questions? I'm sure I could answer anything you got just in your brains.
Caelian is eating a carrot.
I have a question.
Okay, yeah, shoot, little man.
I believe we're the same height.
Yeah, I'm a halfling. We tend to be a little short.
Maybe I'm a halfling elf. You don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't think that's how it works. I think you're just a little boy, but it's nice to meet you. You didn't introduce yourself, but I'm Tanis.
Hi, Tana. My name's... Shut up, you. Who's laughing? My name's Mara Avriana, and my question was, how are you, Tana?
Well, it's Tanis, but I'll look past that because you were so nice to ask how I'm doing. I've not been doing real great lately. I did.
Caelian offers a carrot out of condolence.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Where'd you get those?
He has them. Don't worry.
I mean, I'm sure y'all are in a similar boat. I died recently, and so now I've been kind of like a spy for Death herself.
Mara touches Tanis's sleeve and goes, "I'm so sorry to hear about that."
Well, thank you. Aren't you sweet? But anyway, I just want to show y'all around, so maybe I can get back to like living a normal life. I was a miner.
Of course, we will purge the curse that ails you, Tanis. Be sure about that.
Thank you, Mara. And the other two of y'all, who are you?
Caelian, with half a mouthful of carrot. My name's Caelian Killaplith. Nice to meet you. And he shakes his hand.
Yeah, you shake hands, and after Tanis kind of like rubs his hand on his pants. But it's like particularly insulting because he lives in this dirty mining town, and like he's dirty too.
Yeah.
Caelian's like thinking like, I just showered.
And Szorna just fucking ignores him, and she's like, "Can you?"
Mara's like, "Szorna." Her name. Like, Mara introduces her for. Her name is Szorna. Last name, I don't remember. Wait. Szorna Berender. Oh shit. Her name is Szorna. And he leans in. Pardon. I don't recall your last name.
It's Berendar. Can we move on? Tanis, can you...
Introductions are very important.
Yeah. Tanis, can you, the fuck is her voice? I don't even know. Tanis, can you tell us a bit about the situation and what's going on? I really just want to get this job done. He says, okay. Well, this has been a mining town. It opened up thanks to the mine. It's sort of how everybody supports themselves around here. You know, we've never really been able to get anything to grow here, so mining is really all we have. I used to work as a miner, and not so long ago, but it feels like a long time ago, this big crack opened up in the ground, and it leads to a really weird cavern underneath town, like directly beneath it. I don't remember a whole lot about how I died. I try not to think about it too much, if I'm being honest, but something down in that cavern is making the town worse. People have been having to move away. Nobody's doing too good. The miners can only go down there for so long. We've had to shut down work in the actual mine, so we're losing money. But it's important that we explore this cavern. I don't go in it anymore myself, but it's where I died. someone or something killed me. My memory's hazy, but that's where the agent, as Our Lady Death calls them, that's where that sumbitch ought to be. But I can.
Language.
I'm sorry. You're right. Your little ears. I'm so sorry.
Caelian with a mouthful of pear.
That's perfectly all right. It's understandable that you're upset. You don't have to say anymore if you don't want to.
Yeah, I can show you around a couple different places, and I imagine y'all need to explore the mine. So
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I can lead y'all to Foreman Petunia. She's sort of in charge of mine and operations around these parts.
That would be great.
Cool. So how this will work is I'll describe a couple different locations, and then you guys can choose where you want to go first and what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have to visit all of the locations eventually. This is just how it is.
This is like the illusion of choice.
Yeah. So your options are... I gotta find my document. You can visit Doc Marmette's house, which is the largest, nicest house in town. It's new and pristine.
Doc Marmette?
Marmette, yeah.
Marmette. Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh.
But he's like a PhD doctor.
Oh. There's a college here?
No. It's new and pristine in direct contrast with the rest of the town. And you can go there to find out some information about the cavern, scientific information. The infirmary is where Foreman Petunia is if you want to enter the mine. She's there with descriptions of the mine. She'll grant you entrance, and you can hear from some miners who have recently been down in the mine. The Leaky Bucket is the tavern.
I imagine Caelian's ears perk up at like the sound. There's a tavern here.
Yeah, he's kind of smiling a little.
So the tavern is where you can go to get
Mara's frowning.
local gossip and rumors and stuff, just to kind of get a feel for the town. And then the regular mine, you can do some exploring around, but if I'm being honest, that'll probably come in more later. But Tanis describes these places to you, and he says, so where should I lead y'all first? You got any ideas?
Caelian kind of steps in front of Mara a little bit, and he's like, "Can we go to the tavern?"
Mara steps out to the side. Excuse you. He steps in front of Caelian. Fuck you.
Go to the tavern. I want to see if the locals know anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we can acquire that information just fine from the infirmary. After all, you mentioned the miners are located there.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, so we would receive more pertinent information from the people from Ground Zero.
Caelian rolls his eyes and he's like, Mara, I don't know how you grew up, but I'm older than you by like 2 centuries or more. So
age is just a number.
I think we can agree that it's my choice where we go first, and I don't think Szorna cares either way.
As long as we're getting work done.
Szorna's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
So Caelian just starts off towards the tavern, not waiting for people to like agree.
Mara grabs Caelian by his sleeve. I really think the infirmary is the
Caelian is
better.
far stronger than. You know what? I think this is going to be a strength contest.
Oh shit! Roll.
Oh shit! What's my strength? 0. All right.
Roll a d20.
Oh my! I can't believe they're playing tug of war.
That's 16 plus 3, 19.
All right. How do I roll again? Okay, it's on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
D20. So I have to roll a nat 20 to beat this. Okay.
Or a 19, I guess we'd have to.
I rolled a 4. So I guess what happens is that
You
they
can,
get.
You can
No,
also
I'm sorry.
just
You should say it.
You can also just click strength, I think,
Yeah,
on saving throws.
it'll roll it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Wait. So I just kind of click strength. I see.
Yeah.
So that one's turned out to be.
Yeah, but you
what
already
is
rolled a 4, and either way I still win. So.
Yeah. So
But if I rolled a 4, it's like I fucked up super hard.
Oh, and by the way, those 2 numbers.
Yeah.
They automatically roll 2 in case you're doing advantage or disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Disadvantage is the lower, advantage is the higher, but the one that you always read if you're not doing those, if you're just doing the regular one, is the first number.
Okay. Cool.
So the one.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah, with that roll, you try pulling on his sleeve, and he just kind of picks you up and takes you. And Szorna
Mara's fighting the whole way.
You squirm. Zorna follows,
Mara, you
and
struggle.
And Tanis is like, you don't even know the direction. Let me follow me.
Caelian just walks in a random direction with Mara.
Yeah.
He can smell the booze. You think his senses aren't keen?
Tanis.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
Tanis leads you to the Leaky Bucket, which is just as worn as the rest of the town. Kind of dirty, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-frills bar and grill. So it's a tavern, but also because this is such a small town, it's kind of like the local hangout, so it's kid-friendly. It's like...
Oh, okay.
It's like an Applebee's. But,
okay, so it's the apple. Got you.
Caelian looks disappointed when he walks in.
But it's rustic and not awful.
Caelian immediately goes up to like the bar area.
Okay, let me finish describing it. But
he goes there.
He's like, give me a dry one. They're like, a dry what? He's like, just a dry one.
It's a popular hangout amongst the townspeople since there's really nothing to do except like mine and sleep and get wasted. People gather here to meet friends and spread local rumors and gossip. It's kind of empty at this point because it's the middle of the workday. So the bartender's kind of back there talking with some waitresses, servers. Somebody's just kind of sitting alone at the end of the bar, wearing mining gear. I guess he just got done with like the overnight shift, and he's eating some sliders. And then there's like a small girl sitting at one of the tables alone.
How small?
She's about Mara's size. She looks like she's around that age, but she's smaller than him. But she looks to be about the same age because she's a young dwarf girl. She's kind of scruffy, a little dirty. She's been out playing in the dirt road. And she looks kind of persnickety, but she's sitting alone at this table. And Tanis says, "Welcome to the Leaky Bucket. It's not much, but it's what we got."
Mara, who I believe at this point has not yet been put down, kind of looks up at Caelian best he can and kind of goes, I think we've reached a point where you can put me down.
Caelian's like, nah, I don't know, and kind of hoists Mara up a little higher. Although it's clear he's like just doing this to make Mara like mad. Like he's wanting to make Mara be like, come on.
Mara's like, I still have spell slots, you know.
Szorna kind of looks at Caelian and she's like, would you just put him down, please?
Caelian drops him.
Mara lands on his feet like a cat. Cat-like reflexes.
Caelian shrugs.
Not a hair out of place.
He asks Tanis, is there like ale here or something?
Yeah, I mean, like ale is what's most popular around here. It's
cool.
It's
that's my favorite. And
are you really going to be imbibing when we're trying to solve a mystery?
You'd be surprised where it gets me when I'm a little imbibed, my friend.
If you drink
I
too
would
much,
be
it will make
surprised,
you have
yeah.
disadvantage on some fight
He's
rolls.
not gonna get drunk. He wants an ale.
Mara doesn't trust him.
Okay.
Caelian orders an ale. How much does an ale cost?
Fucking 5 gold.
Okay, let me subtract that from my total.
Oh yeah, I forgot to give.
How do you have gold? You got eaten.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Respawn.
Mara
So-
makes a grossed out, he makes kind of like a disapproving kind of twitch of the lip.
Okay.
And he turns to Szorna. Well, I think I would like to talk to the girl first. Do you want to come with me?
Sure. Caelian, do you want to bring your drink over here and talk to this?
No, I don't think he should. I think he should leave that where it is if he's going to come with us.
Okay, well, do you mind putting your drink down for a minute and coming and talking to this dirty
Caelian
girl?
keeps his drink in his hand and comes and sits down at the table with the little girl with you guys and is like,
Mara
"It's not a problem. I'm a
just
large
looks
elf."
tired.
Alright.
Mara looks tired of what Caelian just did, and he turns to the girl apologetically and goes, "Not to intrude on your space, and if you prefer not to have company, we'll of course leave you alone. I know we're strangers, but we do have a few questions to ask you. We're attempting to solve an issue that I believe is going on in your town that you are probably aware of. My name's Mara Avriana. What is your name?"
I don't know you. Why do you talk like that? Where are you from?
Well, that's a bit of a difficult question to answer.
All right. Well, you're not.
Well, I'm from a town of a family of high elves. So perhaps our paths have not crossed before, but they are now, and that's what matters.
I never met an elf before. That's not. No, I'm joshing you. I met elves before. Old Doc is half elf.
That's a funny joke.
Yeah.
He's not laughing.
Thanks. No. Who are you? Like, why are you here? Nobody comes here. Nobody comes here to like see the sights. It's a mining town.
Caelian finishes kind of like a short swig of his ale, and he kind of is like, the crack in your town. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on with that.
Oh yeah, the big. Oops, that's Tannis. Who is waiting outside. I don't know. I guess he didn't want to be in the tavern.
Uncomfortable.
Maybe there's somebody he knows in there and he doesn't want to see.
Yeah, he's been. I think since his
Maybe he has an ex in there.
Oh, since his death, he's kind of been avoiding town members a little bit because he feels weird. So
That's
he's waiting
sad.
outside. You know.
Mara waves him over to come in. Come with us. Sit with us.
He's like, no, I'm good out here.
Please,
I think
we
your
want
DM
you
has
here.
enough characters to keep track of, so I'm gonna.
Oh, I see. Well, Mara looks, a little sadly at him, and he's gonna talk to him later.
Okay. Elsie says, I forgot what we were doing. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, Elsie, I didn't catch your name. I asked her her name.
Sorry. My name's Elsie, I guess, and she told me your
What a
name.
pretty name.
Oh, she says, oh, thanks. So yeah, what you're in our town about the big smelly crack, right?
Laughs.
Well, I'm
finally,
describing quite those words, but yes.
All right. I don't know a whole lot about what's in that crack, but I know she knows something. Hang on, sorry. I think no, and maybe you'll believe me because you're not from around here. Nobody from around here really believes it, but
Mara puts a hand on her shoulder and says, "You can tell me anything."
okay, thanks. There's a man that lives in that cavern.
Jesus.
I he killed my parents, and nobody believes me, but they were looking for treasure, and I know it's still there. I know it, but nobody in this damn town believes me. They think I'm acting out for attention.
She's a dwarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we see dwarves at the kennel?
No.
Mara's ears kind of lower when he hears this, and he says quietly, "You said the man lives in the cavern?"
Yeah, he must. I swear, my parents were explorers of a fashion. They were trying to sort of make a map of the cavern, and they were real smart. They were looking for treasure, I think, and I think they found it, and I think he killed him. I saw him come out of the mine at night.
What's he look like?
I couldn't see too well. He looked kind of tall and dark, but it was nighttime, and everybody was real upset looking for my parents. We still ain't found them. I know that man killed them. I know he did. They'd never leave me alone.
No, they never would. They never would. Elsie, of course you're telling the truth. Of course we believe you.
Thank you.
Caelian seems like he buys it. Like he's like he'll take anything.
Mm-hmm. Mara rips off one of the crosses off of his cloak, and he takes Elsie's hand and presses into her palm.
What's...
And he says, I may not know you, Elsie, but I hope you have a good life.
Thank you, Mara. Can I just say I never met nobody as nice as you?
Caelian is like, he looks very confused. Like, what is this nice exchange between children?
Mara looks into her eyes and says, I hope we can be friends someday.
I think I'd like that too. Have y'all been down in the cavern? Because maybe you'll understand more once you've seen it.
No, we haven't been.
I think you should go and check it out. And maybe sometime I can show you where the treasure is. Maybe if y'all are interested in going on that expedition. But
Caelian likes the idea of treasure, so his ears perk up.
Yeah, Mara, take us anywhere, of course.
Yeah. Like I said, you should probably maybe do some more investigating first, but
around the tavern, you mean?
Around the town, because you have other places you can go, but then you can.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the girl's offering to take us directly to the mine where the issue is.
Yeah, but only after you've sort of explored other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like.
Oh God, Caelian's.
He's like, come back to me when you're level such and such.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little like RPG game. You know how you have to do things.
Definitely, yeah.
Return to.
Okay, yeah. So I guess Mara's like, we still have a few preparations. I think we need to get our how's the expression go? Get our chickens in order. Anyway.
I don't know a whole lot about chickens because we can't really raise animals.
That's okay. I don't know a lot about chickens either, Elsie.
I'm glad we have that in common.
Caelian's like, I know about chickens. They taste real good.
And Szorna's like, okay, great.
Szorna's like, why do I have to babysit
2 children? Can we move on?
Caelian is like, can I bring this? And he holds up his like wooden jug or whatever it is.
Well, technically the container in which your alcohol sits doesn't belong to you, Caelian.
Yeah,
you don't take a cup out of that.
All right, then he downs it. He slams it back.
I was going to say the bartender like peeked up over the bar and was like, "Yo, you can't take that."
He slams it then.
Okay, cool. All right, you going back outside?
Yep.
Mara waves goodbye to Elsie fondly.
Elsie waves too, and she seems really happy about the prospect of having a friend her age, because you get the sense there aren't a whole lot of kids around here anymore.
Yeah, I want to say hi to her later again.
Yeah, for sure. So you go back outside where Tannis has been waiting. He says, you meet Elsie. She's
I like her.
I'm glad. She's been going through a sort of hard time. She could probably use a friend. She's been telling stories to get attention. But, yo.
I think Mara... I'm sorry. Mara, I think, turns to Tannis and goes, we all have different ways of expressing our pain, and I think you should place a little bit more stock in what Elsie says, so that not everything in this world can be so mundane as to be believable.
Maybe you're right, little man. Lord knows I've been dealing with it in my own way. Anyway, where can I take y'all to next?
I believe the infirmary is where we were intending on going, right, Caelian?
Caelian's like, yeah, I guess.
All right. Right this way. And he leads you
to... On that note, can I pee real quick?
Go.
Jeez, I'm so sorry. BRB. 10 seconds! I hope you incorporated this, like, the sound of the toilet flushing into the Foley work.
Yeah, I got some editing to do, huh?
Hella editing, I guess. Edit out all the 30-minute pee breaks I'm going to take because I'm drinking too much. Anyways, so, alright. Yeah, so Mara's like, let's go to the infirmary.
Alright, right this way.
Wait, oh, hold on, I'm sorry. We kind of left the tavern without, like, there was, like, a man at the end of the bar, right?
Yeah, he wasn't important.
Oh, cool. So the girl was the important person?
Yeah.
Cool, neat.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird if, like, she was the only person in the tavern.
Okay. An Applebee's empty aside from one little girl.
Yeah, I don't have stats for the other guy. He's just made up.
Cool.
Alright. Tannis leads you to the other side of town and into the infirmary, which is small and full of miners currently. It's not been set up for the sort of number of patients it's been receiving recently. It's well stocked for the injuries you might expect from a town full of miners, but the miners in the infirmary don't appear to be physically injured. So it's sort of been repurposed to help victims of the sort of nasty mental effects that this cavern has had on the people. And it affects regular townspeople as well as the miners who have been down in it. So it's been completely overwhelmed lately. And you see a sort of abnormally, like, large dwarf woman standing in the middle of the infirmary looking kind of concerned. She's bearded and she's got long hair, and she looks like she could probably go a few rounds in a fight. What?
How to what? I'm sorry.
She looks like she could go a few rounds in a fight.
No. I'm saying hot or what, as in hottie.
Oh, gotcha. How to what?
How to what?
Alien's looking.
Yeah, okay. What?
Mara's never seen a bearded lady, but he's like, curious.
Okay. What do you do?
Well, there's the large foreman in the center, and everyone else is kind of sick, right?
Yep.
Well, we approach the large foreman, right? Right?
Is this is Petunia. Right?
This is Petunia.
Okay.
A very flowery name for a very buff dwarf woman.
Mm-hmm.
I literally love her already.
She turns as Tanis approaches, and he says, "Hey, these are some people here to sort of investigate what's going on in the cavern. I know you don't like outsiders very much, but I think they might be able to help us figure out what's going on." Yeah.
Mara immediately steps forward and says, "Hi, my name is Mara Avriana. These are my companions, Caelian Kilplitz, Szorna Beranger. We are here to aid you in whatever you need to solve your problems, both large and small. Please tell us how we can help you."
She looks a little surprised because you're so small, but she says,
"What is this, a person for ants?"
Yeah. She's like, "All right, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too."
Thanks. Tanis, normally I would be against this, but at this point, by the way, it's good to see you. I never see you anymore. At this point, I'll take whatever help I can get. I got to do something for my people,
Of course.
What can I tell you about the mine or the cavern?
Caelian's like, are there any dangerous animals in there or anything?
Well, that's the thing. This cavern is dangerous. Just its existence. I don't fully understand it myself. Black Ridge has never been a place that the weak-hearted could survive. It's a mining town, and it takes it takes a hardy mind to survive here. It always has, but ever since that rift opened up, it's been even worse. A lot of good, hard-working people have had to leave, and even more are trapped here, getting worse because they can't afford to move away. It's affecting our minds, and I feel it myself sometimes too. But down in that cavern, it's dark, so dark that our lights can't penetrate the darkness too well, and it's smoky. I don't know how to describe it. It's like smoke, but no smoke I've ever seen. But down in that mine, if you stay too long, I mean, we have to wear masks over our mouths and noses, sort of like just bandanas and stuff, just to even go down there, because you breathe it in, and I've seen a lot of good people just become full of hate and rage and attack each other, and I've never seen anything like it before. Just the cavern itself is dangerous. Then we've had to leave off exploring parts of the mine because these damn shadowy bastards show up and attack us, and we can't
shadowy. What sort of shadowy people?
I think they're literal shadows made of what? I don't know. Shadow monsters.
Caelian kind of squints, and he says, "Okay, so here's the deal. Our plan, the whole reason we're here, is to go down there, I guess, and explore the deepest part of the cavern.
Okay.
And figure out what the source of it is and hopefully fix that for y'all.
All right.
But if it's dangerous to even breathe, do you have anything we can wear over our mouths and noses that keeps us safe from inhaling that smog or whatever it is?"
Yeah. I was just about to say the same thing. Good job, Caelian.
Caelian kind of rolls his eyes a little.
I can get y'all the same sort of gear that we wear. We wear some protective clothing, just mining. Anyway, our mining town, I don't know if you know Black Ridge. It's pretty famous, but a lot of people don't know it by name. But
Caelian has heard of it before.
We
Mara has
export.
not.
Little man, we export yellow diamonds that are used in a lot of magic and spells, especially in the city. They're used to power various things, and they're used to summon earth elementals. So it's a big business here, but
Oh, fascinating.
thank you. Not everybody sees the value in it, but we've had to leave
Not
off
see
on
the
that.
value in it. That's amazing.
So I have some protective gear I can give y'all. We've just been wearing sort of these enchanted bandanas around our mouths. Seem to do the trick as long as we're not down there too long. But I will say, if you lose it and you breathe that air in without it, it's not gonna be too good for us. So you gotta be careful.
You've been tiptoeing around the subject, if you don't mind me saying.
All right.
What exactly happens?
Well, the way I've seen it, good people, when they never heard a fly in their lives, they become so angry that they start attacking the people around them, like they're enraged.
So you think it's maybe some kind of berserker magics or something?
Maybe so. Something down there in that cavern is casting some kind of strong magic. I don't know what or who it is, but it's so bad that it's affecting even people that aren't going into the cavern.
I have a question for the DM.
Okay.
If we were to find out, like, if there was anybody who might have an inkling as to this kind of purpose for doing that by just kind of like setting up camp there, would the doctor be the place to go, or
So the
do we even have like a theory? Would that be something he's thinking about?
So he's got a sample of sort of like the smoky, shadowy substance that's down in the cavern that he's been investigating. So if you want to go down, he has some info about that and about the cavern. Wow. About the cavern from like a scientific point.
Mm-hmm.
That's his whole shtick.
Okay. So I guess the next thing that Mara says to Petunia, I think Mara offers to like help around the infirmary.
Mm-hmm.
Like he goes to anything that they need, like if they need to change any bandages.
Yeah.
He asks if he's given the opportunity, he goes to sit by people's sick bed and starts like proselytizing to them. He's like giving them like inspiring but definitely religious themed positive messages.
Oh my god.
Low key trying to convert them.
Yeah. Petunia seems pretty grateful for his help around because they are overwhelmed.
So they spend probably like a half hour or an hour doing that.
Yeah.
Caelian's looking around at cuties.
Alright.
Looking around at cuties?
Is there any cute individuals?
Cute sick people?
They're like mentally messed up mostly. From what
I see, but still.
They're sort of recovering from this like rage because it is very exhausting, and they're also just like the existence of this rift, like whatever's in there is making them like lose it a little bit. Like they're exhausted and they're angry and they're scared and paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
Yeah, so I bet that like some of them definitely don't respond well to the religious kind of inspiration that Mara's trying to give them.
Yeah.
But maybe some of them kind of do appreciate it. You know, if their exhaustion is all mental, maybe like a bit of mental fortitude like that is.
Is there anyone cute?
You know?
I ask DM.
Yeah. There's a lot of like buff dwarven men and women in there, and other races too. Primarily dwarf, but there's some like humans and stuff. They're all pretty fit because they're down there in that mine chipping away.
Oh, you know what? Can I try something?
Okay.
This isn't probably the best playing style, wasting my slots. But what if I cast Calm Emotions?
It would heal people, and that would give you like.
You might want to save that for maybe like in the mines if something happens.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That would gain you.
But like,
favor
what would
with
calm
the community.
emotions do for monsters? Really, they're not intelligent. What's it gonna do?
Greenie, I'm saying like, what if Caelian inhales the smoke
Yeah.
or something?
You're
Does
a whole
does
person, sanctuary. I have a bunch of stuff. I have level 1 slots that will work
I
for
need
that.
to
It's fine.
fight. If I'm berserking and trying to attack
would-
you,
I
you
would-
need to calm my feelings.
No, sanctuary is perfect for that. You just can't attack me.
I would save. Well,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
attack other party members. I would save your spell slots though, because this is like a narrative part.
I see. I'm
but
so
this-
sorry. Yeah, that's
no,
why.
you're
Like,
fine. It's a good idea. It's just I don't feel like you need to, because these people are calm now. They're just recovering.
got you. Okay,
And what I was
but just know that Mara considered it.
What I
Okay.
was trying to say is, like, say we're, like, in combat with, like, the final boss or something, and there's smog everywhere.
Yeah.
And I need to be fighting because I am pretty much the primary fighter here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mara's not.
If Caelian's mask or whatever he needs to not breathe in this stuff gets knocked off, and he goes into berserk mode, hold person or sanctuary isn't going to stop those feelings from going away.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
That's true. It will just be temporary.
And he's not going to be able to fight either. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I already wasted a spell slot earlier, I think.
No.
No, if it was in the.
Oh, it didn't count. It didn't count. Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay,
the
sorry.
playing mods.
Okay, sorry. Those are all my questions. I'm good.
You're fine.
Okay.
So you were asking if there were hot people. There are. They're just kind of tired and.
Caelian's,
Yeah, they're vulnerable. They won't
Caelian,
know.
is there?
Yeah, I think that maybe like the nurse that's going around is like
Oh,
a half elf
Caelian is
woman.
on that nurse.
Oh my God. She seems kind of surprised she doesn't get a lot of attention here
And
because
he's
everybody knows everybody.
He's a tall boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just flirting with her.
Just making sure I know that.
Can I like?
Oh my god.
Okay, I just want to roleplay something.
I bet Mara and Szorna are already looking at this like,
I think
Yeah.
Szorna probably wants to get a move on, but
Yeah, she's kind of tapping her foot by the door, but she hasn't said anything.
you know, yeah, probably Mara's distracted with helping people.
Yeah.
And during that time, this is what Caelian does.
yeah, Caelian's like, I'm not gonna be able to stop him from wanting to help. So,
Yeah, well, he's going around helping.
Caelian
and flirting.
approaches the nurse.
She's shorter than you. She's about like 5'5".
Okay.
Oh.
And she's got
What race is she?
she's a half elf.
Okay.
So she's cute. She's got freckles and red hair and glasses, and she's kind
Aww.
Oh my god!
of taking a breather from helping these people. And she's
Wow, this campaign already has waifus.
How can I help you?
Caelian kind of leans against the wall on like one arm, you know, and he's kind of like looking at her.
Are you injured? I was taking a break, but
No,
I can help
no,
you.
you can keep sitting. It's fine.
oh, thank goodness. You know, it's good work, and I love these people. You know, they're my family, but
You seem like a
I
real
could
sweet
use a
lady.
break. Oh, that's nice of you to say. What's your name, stranger?
My name's Caelian. What's yours?
My name is.
Chicka.
I wish
Slim
I could do the thing that Griffin did.
Her
which
name's
is, like,
Slim Shading.
Yeah, if you tweeted about the show, I'll use your name because that would make it so much easier.
Name her Slim Shading.
No. Her name is Celeste. I'm Celeste.
Oh.
That's a beautiful name, young lady.
Thank you. I kind of get made fun of it around here. 'Cause,
Really?
yeah. My family is I don't come from a mining family, so they've been kind of. I mean, they're just kind of good-natured ribbing, but they kind of make fun of me for having a hoity-toity name.
Can I ask you something?
All right.
You want to go get a drink at the Leaky Bucket a little later, like maybe tonight or something?
I think I might like that. I'd like to get to know you better. I think. Since you're so sweet. Yeah, I get off work later tonight.
I've got some business to attend to.
All right.
With the mines, actually, I'm looking to fix your little problem here, so maybe your workload will decrease a bit.
That would be incredible if you could do that.
And then as an exchange, we'll go out on a nice date and see how that goes. And yes, it is a date. I'm making that very clear.
Okay, she's like, she kind of blushes. She doesn't get this kind of attention usually because she's like everybody's kid sister, kind of.
Yeah.
Like pokes her glasses up higher on her face because they're slipping.
Yeah.
Because they're probably a hand-me-down, they're too large for her.
Yeah, and she's like, I think I'd like that. I'm not sure exactly when I'll get off work, but you come see me whenever you get done taking care of your business, and I'll take off work and we can go.
All right, sounds good to me. Mara
pops up behind Caelian.
Oh my, what?
What?
Oh my womo. Shinderu.
What is that? What?
Oh no.
What is happening? I was just gonna say, Mara pops up behind Caelian at this point and just goes, "What you talking about?" He's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, is that your son?
Mara and Caelian both look disgusted.
Caelian says, yeah, actually.
Oh, he's so
at the same time as Mara says, "No, actually."
He's such a cute little fella. I didn't know you had son.
Caelian's like, I'm just kidding. He's not.
Okay, Mara's ear twitches of being called cute.
Oh, she looks a little confused then as to what your relationship is if he's not your son.
And Caelian is like, I was just.
Mara says we're partners.
Oh shit.
She's like, I'm sure you are his partner, little buddy. He must be your little brother then, huh?
As far as I know, we're not related.
Oh, okay.
We're just party members. I actually don't even know what he does.
I'm sorry, maybe that was kind of racist of me. I just assumed y'all were related. I'm used to it though.
Oh, what else are related, huh?
Most people around here are related. We got a lot of dwarfs. I mean,
Mara said, well, that's understandable. Where I come from, we're almost all related too.
I get it a lot though, because there ain't a whole lot of half elves in town, so you know how it is.
It's hard to feel different.
Yeah, you're so sweet.
He kind of is like squinting. He's like, I was just telling her after we get done with this mining business that I was going to take her out to the leaky bucket a little bit.
Oh, I think you'll be too busy for that. You think?
Caelian elbows him.
She looks kind of disappointed at the thought of that.
How are you elbow? You like elbow his head. You just like smack him like on the back of the head gently.
Caelian kind of like nudges him.
She's like, I mean, if you have to cancel, I understand. It seems like you're doing important work, but I was really looking forward to it.
We're not going to have to cancel. It's not a problem. He just overthinks things a little bit. You know how kids are.
Oh, I sure wish I did.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Was that a flirt? Was she
that
like...
was such a... Oh my god, that was such a power move.
Caelian's eyebrows shoot up.
Oh my god.
She kind of blushes. I didn't mean it like that. There's just not a whole lot of kids around, and I love them.
You know, like what?
I wish I knew. Oh no. She's blushing furiously.
What do you mean?
Mara, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't.
You two are acting very strange.
Yeah. I think
No,
I gotta get back to work. Oh no. I'll see you tonight, Caelian.
Caelian twinkles his fingers and then kind of like growls at Mara like. Rrr.
She's like, as she's walking off to like get back to work, she like sort of turns back and blushes again, and then gets back to work.
Oh my god! Success.
Roll for flirtiness. 100. Whoa! I don't know how that's possible.
Whoa!
That's a good thing I didn't actually make you roll.
Oh my god, wait, I'm trying again. That's a 1 again.
That doesn't bode well.
Oh my god, Caelian just farts. Like in the middle of trying to flirt, he just lets one rip.
Anyway.
Okay, what are y'all up to? You can talk to Petunia to get entry into the mine, but she's probably going to suggest you talk to the good doctor.
We probably spent like an hour here at this point.
Yeah.
So I think we're good to try. We've got just the doctor left, right, before the regular mine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, doctor it is.
Okay.
So we talked to Tanis, yes?
Yeah, Tanis is like, all right, I can show you over to Doc Marmot's house. You probably saw it when you came in. It's the big one.
Tanis, what were you doing for an hour?
I was playing Candy Crush. He was,
whoa, what's your high score?
No, I was chatting with some of my old mining buddies. I haven't gone back in.
You seem to know Petunia.
Yeah, I used to work for her. I was a miner before I. Well, you know, I haven't.
If you don't mind my saying so, and of course you don't have to divulge any information you're not comfortable with, but it seems like she misses you.
Yeah, Petunia's good people. I can't go back down there since what happened.
Why not? No, that's canon. That's the Foley word.
Yeah.
Right in Mara's face too.
I'm sorry there, little man.
Mara's like scrunched up like a cat, like like a cat going back.
When I go, I start to remember, and I really don't want to remember. It was probably the worst day of my life, because it was the last day of my life. But now I'm back, and it's all weird. But I can show y'all to Doc Marmot's house.
Just a moment, Tanis. Just a moment.
Yeah,
I won't take up too much of your time. He puts the hand on Tanis's sleeve again, just like earlier. He just says, I know how you feel. I do. It's important not to be alone in times like these. I really think you should just try, to reconnect with Petunia.
You're probably right. Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's go.
House or what?
What is this emotional bullshit?
I'm sorry. This is true to the character.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. Caelian's just
yeah.
being true to the character.
Every 2 seconds, he's gonna try to fucking have like a Full House moment with someone where the music comes on. Exactly.
So Tanis leads you over to Doc Marmot's house.
Doc Martin's house.
Doc Martin's house, and it's just full of lesbians. No, it's a nice house. It's been passed through his family because they were the founders of the mine. So they were the wealthiest in town, while everybody was sort of lower class and working. He's since turned the deed over to the people, but he's still the richest in town because they don't like accepting charity from no good, lazy, fucking studiers. Anyway.
Fuck. Was that some inner anger just came out there?
Yeah, I don't know what that was from. But Tanis leads you sort of to like a workshop that's a research lab off the back of the house, and he says he's probably in here. And you go inside, and you see an older half-elf wizard. He's got sort of wild gray hair and glasses, and he has the build of somebody who spent his entire life studying, because he has. He's got a huge collection of books behind him, and he's in his research lab at a table sort of poring over this jar. And it's a big jar that's got sort of like flowing, smoky, shadowy mass in it, and he looks kind of frustrated. And then he looks really surprised when he kind of startles a little bit when you guys walk in. And says, Tannis, I didn't know I was going to be having guests.
Please excuse us.
It's all right. What can I do for you? And Tannis.
Mara steps.
Okay.
Oops. I guess Mara interrupts Tannis before he can speak.
Yeah.
Mara steps up. My name's Mara Avriana. These are my companions here, Caelian Kilplitz, Szorna Berendar, the ever generous, ever kind Tannis. Thank you for everything.
Mara, I've got a question. Mara?
What?
Why do you care so much about using our last names all the time? Don't actually answer that. I'm annoyed. Don't do it anymore.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend. I just think that your background and where you come from is an important part of your identity. I didn't know it was a secret, Caelian.
It's just anyway, whatever.
Doc Marmette sort of, he looks impressed, and he's like, young man, I agree. Introductions are important. Thank you. What can I help you with? Why are you here in my?
Well, you see, the more pertinent question here is, what can we help you with, Doctor?
Unless you can tell me what this sort of thing I've been studying even is, I'm afraid you might not have a lot to do for me.
Hold on, I want to do something.
What?
Caelian goes over to the cloudy thing, and he kind of is looking at it, and he wants to see if he can identify it.
Okay, an investigation?
No, I think it's an Arcana check, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I only have a +1 on it, but...
Alright. Roll.
Mara, this might be something you might try, too, if Caelian can't figure it out. 16.
16?
Yeah,
with the 16,
if you...
what do I have to tell you if it's an arcane check?
Basically, if...
What are you looking for?
Decide, a 20 or above would be, Caelian basically knows what it is.
Yeah.
He's seen it before.
Yeah. This is sort of like a mixed success.
Remember, he's well-lived.
He does know some... He knows
and he
about
likes
magic.
knowing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He might have heard about it before. Even if, he's never seen it, he's heard this descriptor and somebody talking about what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's read about it before, even though he's not that big of a reader, that kind of thing. But if it's a little under 20, but above, obviously not a good roll, he's I think
I have a difficulty check set for this. So
okay, so just
you passed. You know some.
Just telling me just a little bit about what it is, what Caelian knows, so that I can roleplay what I know about it.
So it's like a flowing, shadowy mass, sort of just kind of swirling in this empty jar, this otherwise empty jar.
I'm assuming it is magic, right?
Yeah, you get the feel that it is magic, but it's not a spell. But it's the same substance that's sort of causing people to become enraged and whatnot. It's inherently magical.
So if this smoke were to spill out of this jar right now, we would all be fucked.
Yeah, somebody would, depending on who's closest to it, somebody would breathe it in and possibly become enraged.
So does Caelian have any idea of where this kind of thing usually comes from?
I would say not, because it's kind of an unusual situation.
So Caelian is looking at it and he goes, so this is the stuff that's in the mind, right? That's making people go nuts?
Yeah, Doc looks kind of... I realized I named him Doc afterwards, and I was like, oh. But Doc looks kind of impressed with you, because he didn't expect that from you. The man who smells like worms.
The man who smells like worms!
And he says, oh, yes, You're entirely correct. It's what's in the mine. Very dangerous to breathe in. I'm sort of studying the nature of it because
It's magical, right?
it is magical. You have a keen eye, but I don't know what it is. It's not enchanted. It's not part of a spell. It's inherently magical. But
You think it comes from a source that is like this on its own, and it's just like the after effect or something?
yeah, I think it's being emanated by the cavern, and I don't understand why because it. I don't know what could be making this, and that's what I've been trying to find out because it's having a horrible effect on the town. I mean, the town is sort of dying out as people move to the city, but at this rate, I don't know how much longer Black Ridge will be able to survive.
How long has this been going on?
Um, the rift opened up about a month ago. No, that's too long. A few weeks ago, and we've been exploring it since, and we've lost about half the town just in those few weeks. But
I'm so sorry.
a lot of the people remaining here are they can't move, and I've tried to help out, but they won't accept my help. They're very proud. So I'm trying to figure out what's happening in this mine so I can help them that way.
I'm gonna roll a perception check just to see what else is in the room, if there's anything of interest.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to.
I gotta like learn all these checks.
What side is it supposed to be on?
The right side.
Okay, so I got a 8.
8. Fucking books in here, man. He has, well, I mean, he's a wizard, so he's like magical instruments, but he's mostly like an academic wizard, not like a spell throwing wizard. It's really nilly.
Do I notice anything unusual with that?
Just about the good doctor himself, or
I would say about the stuff.
Or just in his research room.
Yeah, because Caelian's curious, because this is like a doctor's place.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Mara's curious too. Yeah.
Because
you can roll too, Mara.
Yeah, you can roll a check too. Cause
you would just
8
click.
Is kind of low.
You would just click investigation, or no. Yeah. Right? Wait, no. Perception.
I gotta learn how to fucking play D&D.
You would click perception on skills.
Mm-hmm.
What other roles do you think might apply to? I'm just curious because this is a guy who has like stuff that he works on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably the most educated person in this town.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just seeing. I don't know if you prepared a whole lot with him, but
I can tell you more about it if you roll okay. Just about.
So where's the skill? Where is it? How do I do it?
It's you just click on the word perception on the skills tab, or not the tab. Sorry, like the little like the little square, the box, because it says like saving throws and then skills.
Is it in core?
What?
Or bio?
It's in core.
It's in core.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's to the left.
Okay. To the left. Oh, and under skills. Okay. And perception, right?
Yeah, just click it.
Not great. Mara sees a lot of books and is overwhelmed, I guess.
Well, wait, 8 plus 3, right?
Oh, shit, yeah. So then that makes it an 11, which is also still not lower than what Caelian got.
It's a little better. You guys rolled it well. And he's, there's like a lot of like sort of weird inventions where Doc Marmette has been sort of like exploring how to combine magic and technology, and he's got a lot of like, sort of like weird samples of different things. So, like there's the sample of the shadowy substance swirling on the table, but then he has jars of like weird creatures and like
Caelian's interested in that.
Yeah, and okay, so the creatures, you notice that they're like sort of anomalous sizes. So like something that's very small normally is like a little bit bigger, or something that should be medium sized is like tiny. There's also what?
I don't know. It's cute. A cute thought. Like what? Like a badger that's the size of a newt.
Yeah, a newt. Yeah, and he's got some like.
Mara takes out Socrates, the little master statue, and kind of looks at it curiously. Because he still doesn't know what it is. Kind of looks at the animals like,
He notices you guys like sort of looking around at his samples, and he's like, "Oh, those. A lot of sort of anomalies around here. So things are the wrong sizes. I noticed
here specifically, like
in Black Ridge. I'm sure you noticed there's not a whole lot of plant life here. Black Ridge was originally supposed to be people tried to farm here, but we can't get anything to grow. So, and keeping cattle is difficult to find the food in the first place. But then, mutations occur, and the cattle just sort of die out a lot of the time. Even before the rift, sort of strange things happened around here, but nobody really paid them much mind except for me.
Caelian thinks that's odd.
Yeah,
because where he's from, everything grows big and healthy, and everything is like really lush and kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
he didn't experience like a level of like people talking about like, oh, that's an unusual thing to happen this year, or like anything like that. So he thinks it's weird that in this locale, this kind of small locale, there's weird anomalies like this. So maybe he says like, that's kind of unusual. This isn't a very big area overall.
You're entirely correct. By all rights, and the thing is, within the radius of the town, like for a ways outside, this continues, but then there's sort of like almost like a clear delineation between Black Ridge, where nothing grows, and then where things can grow again. It sort of fades into how it should be. And I've been studying it my whole life. My family's been studying it for their lives. And now that rift opened up in the center of town, I think the reason that nothing grows, that we're having these anomalies, is because of whatever's been down in that cavern, whatever resides there. But I myself refuse to go down in the cavern because it's dark and spooky.
Where are you from around here?
My family is, but I was sent off to school elsewhere. I stayed at boarding school, and then came back to live in my family house. But I didn't want to send my daughter off to school like I was sent off. So
your daughter?
Who's your daughter?
Her myself. I don't know if that went southern. Sorry. I don't know if you've met her. She's lovely though. She works as a nurse in the infirmary.
Oh.
She taught her everything she knows.
Mara gives Caelian a side eye. We've met your daughter. She's very, very polite.
We stopped by the infirmary on the way here to talk to Petunia.
Oh, okay.
So we met her, yeah.
Oh, well, that's excellent. I love her dearly, and if anything ever happened to her, if anyone ever wronged her, they would die.
Caelian, does Caelian have to save against intimidation?
Yeah, roll.
Okay.
Is that a contest, or do I just, yeah?
I think it's a contest.
It would be.
Oh god, Mara's considering ratting Caelian out right now.
What'd you roll?
16.
He got
16 plus.
Yeah, you're not intimidated, but maybe your palms sweat a little.
Sir, there's maybe something you should know.
Caelian is gritting his teeth.
What is it?
Good doctor. I I of course don't mean to be abrasive, but I feel that you should be aware of the full situation. What?
Caelian looks like he wants to push Mara over.
My good friend here, Caelian Keelplith. Oh, I'm so sorry. You prefer I not do that, Caelian. we happened to run into your daughter, and I mean, I'm not one to eavesdrop, but I overheard a titillating conversation between them. I believe they plan to rendezvous later tonight.
Interrupts because she's afraid that you're not going to get information out of him after that. And she's like, whoa, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Whoa. Anyway, you were saying about stuff growing weird here? Wow, that sure is weird. You think it has to do with the cavern? He's like, oh, yes. Sorry, I'm filled with so much love when I think about my daughter. Just lots of hot emojis appear around my head. It's crazy.
I start shooting a gun with hearts instead of bullets.
Yeah, I think it originated in the mind, but of course I don't go down there. I try and stay away from it. Sort of in the field research is not my forte. I study in my lab. But if you were to go into the mine and return, would you be willing to come back here and tell me more about it while I study this sample?
Oh, of course. Something caught my attention. That jar that you have there.
Yes.
Of the flowing, the sample of the smoke.
Yes.
If your problem were to be solved in this town, I mean, it would follow that you would no longer have need of that. Yes.
Yes, you'd probably be correct. I mean, it has a lot of value as a research sample, but after I sort of parse out what's going on here, I suppose I wouldn't really need it. I just like to keep a collection.
Would you be too remiss to part with it?
Caelian's like looking at Mara like, what do you want?
I think that it would be a fair trade. For the return of the health of my town, I would be willing to part with it if that's what you're sort of getting at. Do you want it?
Yes.
Or something? It could be dangerous. I would have to seal it just in case, but I don't see why not.
Add a character moment here. I feel like it could be a fairly useful item to have like a bomb that causes somebody to go berserk.
Yeah, that's
Mara's on this game, I guess.
You're exactly right.
I just feel like that could be a useful item, so that Mara's kind of thinking like any not technically non-violent weapon is of interest to him.
I like that you picked up on that because it does actually have like weapon stats. This specific
cool.
jar. So
okay.
Yeah.
So Mara's basically saying, so it seems that we are like two businessmen. We have made a deal.
It's
he puts out his hand to shake.
The
Caelian's impressed with this. He's like, all right, little
Doc
man.
Marmot,
Like, that's what his eyes say.
He kind of smiles and he shakes your hand very seriously.
Mara's also very serious.
No.
This is a very serious handshake.
It's a deal. You'll probably want to get back and talk to Petunia. I'm sorry, Foreman Petunia. She's sort of the one that you need to go with to get into the mine.
We've met her. Lovely woman.
She is a dwarf woman. He seems like
Did I say something wrong?
He's like intimidated by her quite a bit.
Wait, but the way he said that makes it sound like he's intimidated by dwarfs in general.
The world intimidates him.
Yeah, he's very scared of a lot of things, but especially this big dwarf woman. And he's got like a fear boner for her.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
Anyway.
Whoa, Grandpa's got it.
Before we
Grandpa.
go into the mine, I'm gonna take a quick bio break.
Oh yeah, okay. That's fine.
A bio break.
I actually probably need to do that too.
I'm gonna make some tea if that's alright with everyone.
Alright, okay, quick break.
Everyone BRB. Break!